The Iban indigenous group of Sarawak, Borneo, is one that is exceptionally unique in its belief and tradition. And while there are few historical accounts before the 19th century, Iban oral history and genealogies stretch back 25 years or more generations. One of the arts and practices that the Iban continues to accomplish is the traditional natural dye and hand-woven textile known as Pua, or we call it blanket. The weaving is finer than any other Thai weaving where it's rich in allegory symbol. Kumbu travels are well known as culture items in Sarawak. The function of Pua Kumbu are diverse and play a very important role in the Iban community. It is used for various ceremonies, birth, wedding, burial, medicine, and not to mention the forming ceremony. As soon as the baby born and clean, the baby is laid on top of Pua Kumbu. During the first ceremony when bathing the baby in the river, the baby was shrouded in cloth and accompanied to a bath. While during the wedding ceremony, Pua Kumbu is used to decorate the dressing room. The bride and groom will sit on a gong under the canopy of Pua Kumbu and be prepared to receive blessing from the elderly. In ancient time, Pua Kumbu was used in ceremonies to wear hats derived from a successful war. Pua Kumbu is also known as a spiritual blanket. The pattern contains meaning and energy. The more energy the pattern is, the closer an Iban is to the supernatural world, and the more dangerous it is to weave as it tries to absorb the energy and supernatural spirit into its woven produce. The weaving will then protect the wearer. Therefore, weaving Pua Kumbu in a traditional context is very meaningful in determining the position of a woman. The pattern produced on each weave are based on motifs often found in Sarawak pattern art. Commonly used symbols are bird, deer, snake, leeches, squirrel, frog, flowers, and fruit. The highest symbol is of a man and a spirit. The reason I like Pua Kumbu, none other reason because it was coming from my own tribe and how I used to listen the old folk stories about magical and full of spirit it was when I was a child. In addition, people didn't know the process making on how the beautiful pattern and design that are elegantly stretched out on the yard are not result of the personally designed artwork that they draw and weave. The gods and the divine sources whisper and show the precise design to them in their dream. Those previous visions and dreams are just for the selected few who must translate them into a motif, symbols, and colors on the yarn. Pua Kumbu is thought to assist the Iban in improving their lifestyle. The Ibans believe in signs that appear in their life such as insects, plants, and animals which usually signal danger and warn them not to be struck by disaster. They must also undertake sloping rituals to reinforce the circumstances by employing sacred things like Pua textile as a marker of identity or identification to their Pratara, or we call it as spirit. Weaving is an old textile art and craft in which two threads or yarn formed of fiber are placed on a loom work and weaved and turned into cloth. The fabric can be plain, one color, or a simple pattern, or woven in colorful or artistic design such as tapestry. Textiles have been made from millennia as a way of protecting oneself from the weather, so it's not surprised that traces of them may be found dating back to the ancient period. With the passage of time, humans began to use natural fibers such as silk, cotton, and wool to create work of art that made comments about our social roles. Patience and hard labor are required for the preparation of the yarn and conditioning it with natural ingredients such as ginger and lime, as well as the natural dyeing and weaving stages. It could take up to a year to produce a single piece, and that is why it definitely should constitute as an art, since textiles have been since as early as when civilization began and the time length it takes to finish. Pua Kumbu is no longer made using traditional method as it was originally done by Iban women. As a result, the art of manufacturing was born. The Pua has reached the end of its usefulness. The issues arise because the younger generation in this period of modernization is underinformed about the significance of Pua Kumbu and the technique by which it is produced. Traditional and modern Pua Kumbu manufacture in their perspective are same as long as the Pua Kumbu pattern remains the same. Pua Kumbu long printed creation on the other hand harm the value of art in the Pua without them understanding it. Recently, the Iban population, particularly the youth, have lost interest in Pua Kumbu due to religious restrictions that are incompatible with this ethnic group culture, Christianity. Due to the modern culture, Pua Kumbu is no longer required. The Ibans, the bulk of whom no longer do Pua Kumbu, require rights. Several variables, including economy, education, politics, and religion, have contributed to this scenario. As a conclusion, over the years, the Iban culture has changed, and their ritual textiles such as Pua Kumbu has changed its function from ritual materials into decorative traditional art and also for souvenir. Most of the younger generation lacks the knowledge on the symbols that the motif represent and their meaning. A few stated that they are interested to learn in weaving of the textile. The influence of animistic beliefs still exists, and this contributes to the problem of acceptation of the complex motif which carry the names of dangerous creatures. Documentation is vital in preserving the identity of the Pua Kumbu and is important to the Iban communities. Through documentation, this knowledge can be passing from one generation to another, hence closing the knowledge gap. It is a way to entice the interest of younger generation and to give a better understanding of tradition and religion. It is truth and sharing of traditional knowledge within the community that can ensure harmony and their ethnic identity to be preserved. With normal globalization, this knowledge is also seen as the gateway to make the Iban internationally known. As for the Pua Kumbu itself, knowing the historical background, the traditional uses, the meaning of their motif, and the ritual that comes with it, it is vital so that it will earn the respect as an ethnic heritage and not to be taken lightly. Thank you.